I decided to get up and move to New York, even though I am enrolled in school for liberal arts in Indiana. So I have 2 places that I pay rent for, and I fly back and forth for my in-person classes in Indiana and to sometimes visit my family.
Welcome to Financial Cleanup. My name is Marcos, and with me is my lovely co-host Layla.
In today's episode, we're going to be getting dirty, digging through Mackenzie's finances. Mackenzie's 20. She lives in Indiana and New York City. She's currently a student, and she has several side gigs. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. Thank you so much for coming. So let's talk a little bit about you.
Me.
Yes, your story is so interesting, and I love it. So I guess the first thing we could hit is, how much do you make annually?
How much do I make annually? It's probably about 6 figures. We'll just say 100.
Okay, rough. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am first a student, so that's why I do a bunch of side gigs. I do modeling, so I do that about once a week or something. I do funded research for linguistics. I also commission a bunch of paintings, so I do murals and I do canvas paintings, everything like that. And I also am a flight instructor, so I sometimes teach students how to fly, and I also work miscellaneous jobs at coffee shops sometimes.
You're all over.
It's a plethora of things. There's a lot of stuff.
How old were you when you got your aviation license, or is it certificate, degree?
So I started going to trade school for it at 15. And then when I was 16, I started getting hours, and I got my private at 17. And then I just started getting more certifications and everything from there.
That is awesome. So I want to touch back to that you live in Indiana and you also live in New York City. So tell us a little bit about that situation.
I decided to get up and move to New York, even though I am enrolled in school for liberal arts in Indiana. So I have 2 places that I pay rent for, and I fly back and forth for my in-person classes in Indiana and to sometimes visit my family. So I split my time between both both places right now.
Is it stressful, the traveling back and forth, or is it something you're used to?
It was really difficult when I first started doing it, but now I'm used to it, even though I just get aggravated when I'm doing it, because I'm just like, oh, I do this so much, and I don't want to keep doing it. So I'm glad I won't be doing it. I'll only be doing it for another month.
Okay.
So I'm glad I'm still gonna have my apartment and pay rent for it, but I'm not gonna fly back and forth.
So I just want to explain. She doesn't hop onto a plane and travel commercially. She literally flies a plane to Indiana and flies herself back to New York. So that's how she travels back and forth, which is pretty cool. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So what else? So you teach fly lessons to students as well, you said? Okay. And what would you say would be your second biggest source of income?
Probably modeling and painting.
Modeling and
Those
painting.
are both they bring in a lot of income, except they're kind of sporadic. So sometimes I can make a bunch of money at the beginning of the month, and then slows down, but then make a bunch of money like 2 weeks later or something. That's usually just how it goes. And my third thing, I forgot to say this, is that I rate websites. So I'm a website rater, so I get paid to do that. That's my main hourly thing right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I just started doing that like a month ago. So I just forgot about that. I need to do that today, actually. Shoot.
So for your gig work, are you busier during certain times of the year? Or is it kind of just as you find?
It's as I find.
It's like random?
Mm-hmm.
Is it cash?
A lot of it is cash. And a lot of it's either cash or just wire transfer to my account, yeah.
All right. And then are you setting money aside for taxes right now?
Yes.
You are? Okay. Mm-hmm. And where are you keeping that money? Is that in a high yield savings account, or where's that?
Right now it's just in cash? Indiana, because I don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. Yeah, I recommend putting it in a high yield savings account. Deposit it. That way, at least you have that money there, building some money until it's time to pay.
Mm-hmm. From our 4 financial categories, you rated yourself as struggling. So can you just talk a little bit about why do you find yourself struggling?
I grew up without that much money and grew up always paying for my own things and everything like that. I've always had that money scarcity mindset. So even though I do make a good amount of money. And even though I also spend a lot of money and everything like that, I just feel like I'm never gonna, make enough. So it's a mindset thing.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of debt, but we're going to take a look at your spending habits. We're going to review your debts in order now.
Okay.
All right, so the first is student loans. Do you have a student loan balance?
I just have $1,000 in a federal loan, and I can't pay it off until I finish my master's. So it's just sitting there.
Okay.
All right, and then for your master's, how are you you getting scholarships? Are you paying for that? Are you taking loan debt out?
Scholarship for a little bit of it, and then the rest is out of pocket.
Okay. And then have you been saving for that, or are you going to start saving
I'm
for that?
going to start saving for that in mid-April when I'm done with all this traveling and everything. I'm going to start saving. So I keep telling myself at least.
Okay. We got to work on that.
Personal loans.
Don't have any.
Okay.
Awesome.
Car loans.
Don't have
Do
any.
you have a car?
No.
Okay.
Do you own a plane?
I wish, but no.
Is that in the plans eventually, or no?
No, I don't want to own one.
The maintenance, I can imagine the maintenance
is crazy.
for it, yeah.
And you have to get a big hanger for it. It's just not for me.
Medical debt?
Nope.
Let's look at your checking savings first.
Okay.
You have a college savings account. Looks like you started with $1,780. You had deposits of $5,416.36. And then you had withdrawals of $7,005.52 with fees of $15 and an ending balance of $168.39. So tell us, why do you have such a low balance? Like I see, there's a ton of transactions here. There's Venmos, there's Robinhood account, transactions, Zells. It's like over and over and over again.
I don't like to keep a high balance. I just never have. I first got as a student account, and I've always kept my balance to be usually under 300 just because I had someone take my debit card once, and they took my debit money, and I couldn't get it back, so I lost like $300. So I don't like to keep that much in my checking account. Yeah.
Okay. How do they do that? Did they just swiped?
Yeah, like they got my my debit card info, and it wasn't protected, but I lost that money when I first got an account, so I have kept it very low ever since. Because I just have I guess it's somewhat irrational fear of having my money taken, so I just keep it really low.
Oh, so you're intentionally keeping it low.
I intentionally keep it low.
So where's all your other money?
I spend so much money.
Oh, we saw.
Yeah, I spend so much money, and then it also goes to my Robinhood. So it's just because right now I have that sitting around it's 10 grand, but I also put in another $8,000 for just investments into stocks and EFTs and everything. So that's in there too. So
Okay, that's all. Yeah, I see that you have
that's
a
where
Robinhood.
most of it goes.
Why are you fearful of having it in a checking account but not in a Robinhood?
I don't know.
Is it
It's just a thing. It's just
Okay.
how I feel about it. I'm trying to work on it and everything like that, but I don't have anything to base off of because I don't know anything.
Right.
And I've asked like my family members, and people in my family don't make this much money and everything like that, and none of my friends do. So I just
need to get better at managing it.
Yes, I don't have any information because I don't know anyone that is able to tell me how to handle
Which is the norm. I feel like some other people that have been on here felt the same way, that they just don't know where to get the right information from, or just didn't have the guidance in their life.
As far as protection of your account, you can go to your bank and set up passwords. So at any time someone wants to withdraw money, they have to give the teller an actual password. And then as far as the ATM machine, you can set limits that are really, really low. So at a certain time, if someone wants to take out, let's say $100 or $200, the ATM will decline them. And it's a deterrent where now they have to go to the teller. But if they go to the teller, they won't be able to take out money because they don't have that password. So that's something that maybe you should set up, because you have a dangerously low balance and it's costing you money because you're paying in fees, because your account balance is so low. And then on top of that, you're in like over withdrawal territory. because you have a lot of money going in and out. I'd imagine, do you have your cards on auto pay?
No, I pay my card. That's also a thing. I pay my credit card no matter what the amount is as soon as I get a transaction into my account. So I don't have automatic payments on. I pay it as soon as if I get $500, I put $500 in my credit card right away. Because automatic payments give me anxiety. I don't like waiting that long. So that's also why my account balance is so low. Because as soon as I get money, I put it somewhere. So I either put it towards Robinhood or I put it towards my credit cards or anywhere. Like
which we do see over here.
Yeah, I put it somewhere else.
All right, so what I would do is if that makes you feel comfortable, that's fine. But I would set up auto pay for minimum of, I think your minimum payments are $35 or $40. Set it up because God forbid you forget, at least you know that the $40 minimum is covered and it doesn't affect you negatively.
Okay.
Because if you forget, obviously with your travels and things, you have a very unique lifestyle, and that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Okay. I know I have automatic payments set up for at least
For the credit cards?
2 of them.
For 2, okay.
I think I just need to set up for other ones. But yeah, it gives me anxiety to wait.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to wait, but just set it up.
Okay.
That's a fail safe.
Okay.
So worst case, again, if you forget, at least the minimum gets paid. You're not behind. I mean, yeah, you're going to be stuck paying interest, but at least it's better than completely missing the payment.
Okay, yeah.
You have to maintain a higher balance in your account.
To avoid
At least avoid the fees or change the type of checking account you have. I'm sure you have Chase. I'm sure they have free accounts that you can use where there's no minimum or anything.
That's why I said I thought I had a student account. So it's supposed to, I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Probably waive the fee. Yeah. And I would call them too.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I only have the one statement here. Looks like it was charged $15. So once we're done here, I would get on the phone with them and say, hey, I thought I had a student account. I thought fees were waived. If not, ask them for a courtesy. They'll waive it. They will 100% waive it. Now, if you're doing it every single month, they're not going to waive it every month.
Yeah.
But, this is, as far as we can tell, it's only one fee. You can definitely get that waived.
Okay.
And the same thing for your credit cards. People out there, she has Chase Sapphire Preferred. They charge an annual fee of $95. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what I do is I call them every year. You can do the same. Get on the phone and say, hey, can you waive this fee? And many times they will. They waived my first fee. My second fee, they cut it in half. So if you haven't done that, when you get charged a fee eventually,
I already got charged.
you got charged.
Yeah,
I would call them up. Call them up.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so save some money. We have a Freedom student account. Doesn't look like there's a large balance here. You have $18.18.
Yeah, that's just to keep it.
That's just, to keep it out.
That was my first credit card, and I just have it now.
Something on
So I
it.
just put something on it every other month.
Uber Eats?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do that often?
No, that was when I had the flu.
Okay.
So you don't have an account with Uber Eats?
No, I don't.
No
even-
subscriptions
I don't
or
even
anything?
I don't even have any apps like DoorDash or anything. I just got Uber Eats because could not even leave my apartment for a week. It was really bad.
Rough.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have another credit card here showing a balance of $2,795.99 with a minimum payment of $430.62.
Paid that.
It looks like there are 4 transactions here that you have on a payment plan. You have MMG twice. One is for $1,495. The second is $280. And then you have a hotel booking, $467, and a Tiffany & Co. for $1,633.18.
I forgot about the hotel one. That was a while ago. Okay.
Doesn't look like you pay any interest, so everything that you run up, you make payments on.
Yeah.
So do you
I
ever
already paid that too?
So this is paid off in full?
Yeah,
This
I
credit
paid
card?
it off this week.
Oh, awesome.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I paid it off yesterday.
Okay,
So-
awesome.
Was there a reason why you put it on a payment plan?
Because for MMG, it's just so gosh darn expensive.
Can you tell, what is
It's
MMG?
photographers. Photographers are really expensive. They will charge you $500 for an hour.
Okay.
And this photographer charged me almost $1,500 for 2 hours. And it's modeling. It's modeling stuff. You have to
Okay.
keep your portfolio updated and everything like that. And then like photographers are very expensive. And then there's the styling and the makeup that goes into it. So sometimes models spend $2,000 for 2 hours to get portfolio shots. It's just
Have you made any money on that? Like, do you see a return? Like, is it worth it?
I've seen a return now, but I
Okay.
wasn't seeing a return when I did it back in October.
So-
But now I'm seeing a return because you don't get paid till 3 months later anyway. So you will do a shoot in January, and you won't see any payments from it until April.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the frequency that you're getting these photo shoots?
I usually get a photo shoot every other week or something like that.
Aside from this MMG, you have hotel. What is that for? The hotel.
That
booking?
was for a hotel because they don't pay for your travel and modeling either. So I had to
Okay.
go to LA and I had to get a hotel for 2 nights for a photo shoot.
All right, so you have to pay, obviously you have to cover the
You
cost,
have to cover the flight, the hotel. You don't.
everything.
Yeah.
Did you fly yourself there?
I don't fly myself to LA. That's too much. That's too long of a flight.
And then you have a Tiffany & Co. transaction for over 1,000. What is that?
It's my little bracelet.
Your bracelet? Okay.
It was 16. No. It was 1,800 because there's diamonds in the chain too. So there's
Okay.
big diamond and then there's diamonds in the chain, and I love it. So I paid off almost half of it though. So
You spent $1,600 on a bracelet, but then you have $168 in your checking.
yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify that for everyone out there.
She's like, I'm
That she doesn't
aware of
regret.
it. No regrets?
I can pay it off, so it's like no
Gotcha.
regrets.
Okay.
Moving along, we're gonna talk about your 2 Chase Sapphire credit cards, which it looks like you do most of your spending on.
Because that one gives me the most points for travel.
Okay. You're not getting charged on interest on these either, just in case you weren't aware. For the first one, you had a previous balance of $2,263. You made a payment of $2,769, but then made $3,937 worth of purchases. Okay. Making your new balance $3,429,000. Let's go over your food right now. You go to a lot of coffee shops. A lot.
And I will not change that.
Right. So that's because you live in the city and you walk around a lot. So you...
And I need a coffee every morning. I don't even get it for the caffeine. I get a decaf sometimes. I just love the taste of coffee. And I love walking around.
Oh, we know.
The coffee cup. Yeah.
You can't make it at home and then have your own cup?
No, I don't. No, I'm not
That's
doing
not-
that. No.
You have Starbucks over here for $25. Was that like...
It's
you filled up...
Yeah, I load it on a gift card, and then I use the gift
Use it.
card.
Okay. So we have a Starbucks cafe, Starbucks for $50, Panera Bread $8, Ray's Super Deli $12, Grace Deli $12, Krispy Kreme $2, Mandarin Lobby Lounge.
That's at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel.
Okay, $50.
That's food?
That's
Yeah,
really expensive there.
yeah, because it says like lobby lounge.
Yeah.
That's $50. More coffee for $6. Another coffee for $6. Another coffee for
Wow.
$6.
You must have a high
Another
tolerance
coffee,
for
$7.
caffeine.
I get them decaf.
All of them are decaf? It's more for the taste?
And then we have Kava 22. And we have a few Uber Eats, but I assume that is when you mentioned you were sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very against Uber Eats and DoorDash and everything.
Can you guess how much you spent on food for this credit card alone?
$300
You think you spent $300 a month?
for just food.
Yeah.
Food and coffee.
Food, coffee.
$500.
Okay. You ready?
$800.
$824.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop the coffee, but I can stop the food.
Okay. Let's go over your travel expenses because we have a lot of. I mean, we're gonna go over it. So MTA, we have a lot of MTA for $290. So I'm just gonna briefly go over. We have MTA $290, $290, $290, $290, $290.
What is that for?
That's the subway.
It's a Subway?
Another one $290.
And where are you going?
I go to Brooklyn. I go to Queens. I go.
What is that for? Are you just like hanging out? It's for work?
Okay. Uber $27. MTA again $290.
Oh, and I also lived in Crown Heights before I went to Times Square. So I was in Crown Heights for a month because in New York, a bunch of people.
What month?
January.
Okay.
So that one, there's way more, because I would take the subway about 4 times a day.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it felt like, at least. So,
That's what it looks like.
yeah.
We have a few large travel expenses. We have American Airlines 100. Hopper Travel, what is that?
Flights.
Okay.
Sometimes I also get rent planes through there, too. So it's either commercial or flight. It just,
Okay, yeah.
That's where you're going back home?
that's going to be at least once a week.
It looks like you're averaging about like 100 to like 130 for Hopper each time there's a transaction.
Once a week, and then that's going to stop soon, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
How much do you think you spend in travel?
I would say at least $1,000 a month. At least.
Yeah, it's the total on this credit card is $1,600.
That makes sense, yeah.
You're a big traveler. This is your second credit card. You have a previous balance of $3,429. You made a payment of $3,929, and you made $3,148 of purchases. Your minimum payment for this card is $40, and you're not getting charged interest right now. We have a lot of eating out. Everything that's orange is eating out. I don't know if you can see it over here. So you have Chick-fil-A, $3. Fresh from Hell, $14. Natural Food Market, $50. Cava, $13. Diner, $17. Another Market for $6. Chick-fil-A, $16. Another Market in Indiana for $6. Ice cream for $5. Another ice cream for $6. Sweet Green. I'm assuming, I tried Googling, I couldn't find it.
There's a new one in Indiana.
So it's food.
It's food.
So that's $20. You have 2 bakeries over here. Inkwell Bakery, $13 and $8. Birch Coffee, $6. I noticed when you go to New York, that's when all the coffee charges come up.
No, I still get coffee every day in Indiana, too.
In India?
Yeah, I still do in Indiana.
It's probably because I don't recognize the name of the coffee places in Indiana. Whataburger, $10. Pass Coffee, $6. Tavern, $28. Pineapple, Destin.
Oh, I spent $13 just to get slices of pineapple. So,
Wow.
What?
I honestly didn't expect them to charge me that much. I was like, oh,
Damn,
dang.
yeah.
And they already cut it for me. And I was like, okay.
You felt obligated?
Yeah, I felt obligated.
Coffee for $11, another coffee for $10, another coffee for $6, another coffee for $7, Starbucks again for $25, and Insomnia cookies $17.
I also buy Starbucks for other people. So that's...
Do they pay you?
back?
I'm a gift giver.
That's horrible.
It's really bad. I'm such a gift giver. It's really bad.
I mean, I'm okay with giving gifts, but I think when the time is appropriate, not just random. They're not going to remember you buying them coffee.
I know, but it's just a...
That adds up, as
I
we
know
can
it
see.
adds up, but it also makes me happy.
So do you want to take a guess at how much you spent on food on this card?
$1,500?
No, not that much.
$1,200.
No.
Oh, under?
Yeah, so $747.
Oh, that's actually not that bad to me.
Yeah, $700.
That's a lot.
Yeah, $700, and so remember on this card you spent $824 on food, and this one is $747.
So it went down.
On food. I wouldn't say it went down because it's the same month.
Basically the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, never mind.
You do have travel on this one. Most of it is MTA. $290, $290, $290. Again for $290, $290. Uber $60. MTA $290, $290. More MTA. Uber for $91.
That hurt.
Yeah.
What was that for?
I was late to my flight. So, yeah.
Okay. You missed the flight?
No, I didn't miss the flight. I was paying for peace of mind and not taking the train.
Okay. The next day, you took Uber again for $32.
I was in Florida. So.
Yeah, this is when the Florida.
That was a vacation?
Mm-hmm.
Taxi. This is the first taxi I've seen over here. Because it looks like you use Uber if you want to travel or MTA. Was it like random? $15 for Looks like it was
I don't know
random.
what to tell you. It was probably just random.
That's it. So for travel on this card, do you want to take a guess?
1,500.
No. No. It's not like the other card. It's $518.
Okay.
So yeah, so the first card was $1,600 and this one is $518.
You're spending a ton of
For
money
travel.
on travel and food.
That's supposed to be ending though.
Okay, the travel.
How are other, I guess, pilots doing this? You're in a very unique situation when it comes to, your age, but there's other people that are living the same lifestyle. This is insane.
It is. Most pilots have a very poor quality of life as well, and they're very unhealthy because they can only eat out. And commercial pilots, they're very unhealthy, very tired. It's not the best life to have. It's not very sustainable. But people do it. I mean, you need to have pilots, and people want to fly. They want to go places. So
Right.
When you stop traveling, are you going to use your what do they call it? Is it a license?
it doesn't expire.
Oh, it doesn't expire. So you
Yeah,
can just-
the only thing that expires are the medicals. So you just have to get a medical once every 2 years or 3.
Okay, so it's not like you have to renew the
No.
license. Okay.
We're going to start with our budgeting process. You stated earlier that you made $100,000 a year. That brings us to about $5,990 a month to work with, okay? You said you're living in New York and in Indiana right now, and you're paying between both apartments $1,750. You stated that that's going to change.
Yes.
What's the scenario there? What's the situation?
I am subletting my apartment in Indiana for the rest of the summer, and I am moving to the Upper West Side for $1,300. The $1,700 a month is going to change to $1,300.
To 1,300? Okay, so that's good. And then you're no longer going to be traveling to Indiana. So those crazy expenses that we saw for travel, I think it was $1,600 or so.
Yes.
That's going to be...
It's all gone.
It's all gone. That's awesome. Okay.
Great.
We're going to use $1,300 a month for our rent. We have $50 for utilities, plus or minus. You don't really know exactly because you haven't moved in there, but we can adjust that obviously as we go. Internet, we have an average of $14. We went through your subscriptions, which include some Amazon, Spotify, gym membership, things like that. That comes out to $92 a month. Cell phone, you own your phone?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And what is that roughly a month?
My phone?
Yeah.
Like 40?
$40 a month? Okay. Toiletries, these are for, personal products, toilet paper, hand wipes, things like that. We have $50. Okay. We spoke about some medical prescriptions that you need on a monthly basis. You gave me a number of $300. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
A big one, groceries. Okay. There were not many groceries there. So that was attributed to you commuting back and forth a lot. Obviously, very unique lifestyle. But that's going to go away, right? So now you're going to be in one spot.
Yes.
You seem so
Come back.
relieved.
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited to be in one spot.
We like to start everyone off with a $300 budget. That is going to be plus or minus, depending how much you eat out and if you have special dietary needs. But 300 is where we like to be, just to start out. Again, we can adjust that.
Adjust it later on.
Because you have such a high income and your expenses, especially living for New York City, are not very high, and we spoke about you having potential for more income, we want to be realistic and add some eating out and coffee. Your eating out, I think we should limit to about half of what your grocery is, so about $150. Do you think you can do that?
Yes, I
It's
can do
realistic?
that. I feel like I can honestly do less than that.
If you can do less,
I can
that's
do less
great,
than that.
but let's leave it there because
Yeah.
we were at over 1,000.
Oh my god.
Between the two, so
Yeah,
we're like a 90% reduction there. So obviously that's great.
Yeah.
But let's leave it there. If you can do less, that's better. Okay.
Yeah, that's huge because the one credit card, just to reiterate, it's $824 for food and the other one was $747.
That's wild.
And I don't even enjoy eating out that much. I
enjoy cooking?
I love cooking.
Cooking. All right. So this
Yeah.
is you're in a very unique situation where most people are the opposite. They don't like cooking. They rather just eat out. So that's
Yeah.
good. Coffee. You seem very strict and firm on your coffee.
You need your coffee.
So I don't know what the total was just for coffee, but you're going to Starbucks and little cafes here and there trying different coffee, like you said. That's anywhere between $3 and I think up to like $15 even sometimes. I think we need to be strategic about that. I don't want to cut it out completely because one, I'm a coffee drinker as well, so I understand you need your coffee, but we have to set some limits and some systems. So what I'm going to recommend you do is pick a day of the week. I would probably start Monday because that's the beginning of the week. And every Monday I would load up your, was it Starbucks? Is that where you get most of your coffee?
Yeah.
Load up your card, $40 a week. And that's what you're going to use every single week. So every Monday, you know $40 is going into the account. And if you get to Friday and you use it up, you're not having coffee Friday, Saturday, or Sunday until Monday. You have to wait, okay?
Okay.
That's $160 on coffee. That's plenty. That's a lot. All right, that's half of your grocery budget. And the only reason we're doing this is because you have potential to make, you're already making a lot of money. You're only 20 years old and you're making six figures, which is
phenomenal.
Excellent. So that's kudos to you for
Thank you.
you've accomplished so much. Taking all that into account, that leaves you with $3,508 left over. You already have $13,000 in a high yield savings account through Robinhood. So that's excellent. So that would be my first recommendation, is to build some money aside. You already have that, so you're ahead of the game. You also have $8,000 investments, which you have some individual stocks here, some Amazon, some Vanguard funds, all excellent stuff. You have NVIDIA too. So it's a small portion, which is fine. What I would recommend, like we talked about earlier, is I would keep a minimum in your checking account. Set everything to auto pay, and then figure out how you can
Make it
transition to a regular checking account where they're not going to charge you fees, because you shouldn't be paying any fees on that.
Okay.
And look into the password, right? Didn't you mention about the password?
Yeah, look
for
into
that?
the password and how to
Okay.
protect it. If if you're full of that, then look into that. I'm sure every bank has to have it. And if they don't, switch banks.
Okay.
Then what I want you to start doing is start maxing out your Roth IRA. I think for 2024, you can max out up to $7,000 a year.
So should I just go ahead and do that?
I would open that up right away, because you already have. So my first recommendation would be emergency fund that you have. You don't have any high interest debt, so we don't have to worry about that. Roth IRA's next. After that, I would start maxing out your employer 401k. You don't have that right now because you're self-employed. There is a SEP IRA. It's a simplified employee pension, and there's also a 401k,
Okay.
a solo 401k that you can invest with. And contributions, I think they're in like 23 or 24,000 for this year. I have to look it up.
Okay.
It's right around there. I mean, but overall, you're in pretty good shape, minus the outrageous spending, which thankfully is going to go away.
All right, we just got to work on the self control.
Yeah, I mean, and you're only 20. You have so much time to build wealth, but don't let that prolong this. Start now, so by the time you get there, you can ease off, and then you start building those good habits. I mean, clearly, again, you have money here, so you have some of those habits, but you have some poor habits too that we have to try to manage.
Do you have any future expenses?
I am going to go to college for my master's, which, other than the scholarship, I'm going to pay out of pocket, and a car.
Okay. What kind of car? Are we looking at, like, brand new, used?
I mean, obviously, I would like to do brand new, but I know that I shouldn't do that. So I'm going to do used and just get a crappy car. Because I also work on cars, so I kind of want to get a little project car to where I can work on it a little bit.
Okay.
Just make sure it's not a money pit where you're dumping thousands and thousands of dollars into it. So
Yeah, don't want to do that.
And how much for the school?
I want to save at least 25 to be comfortable. The school isn't that much, but I don't want to have to be working as hard while I'm doing my master's. I want to focus on my research.
Okay. By when?
September 1st.
Okay.
all right, you have your work cut out for you. So if I understand it, you have some money coming in that you're going to be setting aside.
Yes.
I would start prepaying all of those future expenses. Put everything in a high yield savings account. That way, when the time comes, you have it there. And just I would keep investing like you're doing now. I would steer away from individual stocks and continue doing the index funds and ETFs that you're doing.
Okay.
And just continue building. I mean, you have a lot of flexibility. As long as you're maxing out your Roth IRA, you're maxing out your 401k, whichever one you decide, and continue saving. I think you're in great shape. I really do.
Yeah, for your age, you're so young.
Not many people have retirement at that age, and you're in a really good spot.
Thank you. I worked really hard for it.
Now
It
it
shows,
shows. It shows.
Thank you.
But we appreciate you coming to the show and
you for
displaying your
having me.
life.
Thank
and,
you.
You know, it's a very hard thing to do. So we appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
And hope you
I'm
learned something.
Really glad I took the opportunity to do it, to actually know about all of my spending and getting advice on what to do. That's great.
It's a big eye opener sitting down and
Yeah.
actually like adding all this expenses up so you
Yeah.
can really see the bigger picture.